Well, there you could maybe try this out. If that's sort of the locked in position, maybe you could change the way you move to the tom. If you
It's
could kind of
true.
like you're probably doing German grip and moving this way straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you kind of can come under and either do French or do kind of like a outward, so you can play this way a little bit more. Then when you go to the rack, you clear the hi hat.
You go over it when you clear it, or do you go through or aside from it?
Man, it's kind of hard to.
I also can't crash with my left hand because I hit the hat
Oh
while
man,
going for the.
shit.
I mean, there are so many things about having an electric kit that just kind of
Yeah.
stifle the natural expression of the drums. So
What kit is
I'm
that?
both.
Sam?
It's the Roland TD11.
Oh,
It's a good kit. I mean, I've definitely gotten my fair share of work out of it. But the more time I put into it, the more afraid I am sitting down on a real kit and being like, oh, nothing of what I've practiced applied to what is going
right.
on.
Yeah.
I have a TD4 that I played for years, and
Oh, right on.
I'm mostly playing acoustic now, so I know what you mean. But I like the Roland kits. But I know it's exactly what you're talking about.
Woo! Sounds good. Who's this?
Man, this band I've been like loving for the past I don't know, couple of years, but I think they're from Sweden. They're called State Cows. And they play, it's like they've dedicated their whole band to yacht rock, but they sound like Steely Dan and like I don't know, man. They're a great band though. They're definitely doing it right. It's like I was trying to explain it to my wife because she's like, I don't get it. Why do you like this band? It sounds like outdated and 80s. And I'm like, it's kind of like the Dap Kings, like what they did with like Motown and like, I don't know if you've heard the Dap Kings, but they're the ones who did the Amy Winehouse album, the like Back to Black album.
Okay, I do know them then. Yeah.
And they like really, they're known for like really paying attention to like soul, like deep funk and soul. And like, they're the dudes that like have like, their studio is decked out with like vintage gear and like they really, really pay attention to doing it correct.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's the same thing. It's like authentic. It's the same thing with these guys that like, they've taken this genre of music and then they've done it authentic and they're like from Sweden. They're like, I don't know if they're huge out there, but I've like reached out and been like, man, I love your music so much. And they're just like immediately like, hey, thank you. I'm like, dude, crazy.
State Cows, huh? Must be a Swedish thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to think of like some sort of reference it might be. Black
I think
Cow.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like they're trying to do this like California yacht rock thing, and I'm like, it's like some of the lyrics, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? But like, I think that might be like, yeah, that's like a California thing, where it's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Steely Dan's lyrics are pretty obscure sometimes.
Yeah, I heard those dudes were like, what do you call it? Like English majors or something, right? Like literature majors or something.
Yeah.
So it seems like these guys are kind of trying to go that route too, but it's like they're not Steely Dan.
Oh, we got cats. Sweet.
Hey, a state cat.
Have we had cats on Chops and Coffee? I mean,
Man.
since we started.
That would make it way better. You guys should see my cats, man. I got some crazy cats. 2 of them.
I got 4.
Oh wow,
Oh shit.
nice.
I have 3 dogs.
I think that's harder than 4 cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're committed.
Dog's the next step when you want to.
Hey, there we go. We got a dog.
Yeah, if we're sharing dogs, we might as well.
Oh.
What a cutie.
Yeah.
One of these days, I got to do mine at home. Oh, that is a good looking. That's a cool cat, man.
Figaro.
Hey.
Pardon me. All right.
Hey.
Time to move.
We all got animals.
Yeah. There he is.
Oh man! Oh, this is awesome. This is great.
I wish I had a. Now I have to find it before we get started. Let's see here. See if I can find one. I have a cat that is. They're getting old, man. They're like 10 or 11 now, maybe 11. But they're. My boy cat is like a. I think he's like a Maine Coon.
Yeah, that's what this guy is.
Oh yeah,
But he's only part.
mine's only part. Yeah. Here I can find him right here. And he's ours has no tail.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, but so it's funny, man, how much they're like. Oh, here we go. All right, I'll share mine with you guys, and then we'll get started. This is our hold on. There we go. This is our Maximus. There you go. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
Handsome.
That's a good cat right there. He's big.
And this is our girl Miko.
Nice.
They're just they're chill, man. They're like our little kids, you know.
Yeah.
Your boy Maximus has like that lion face going on.
Dude, he's so chill, and he's just like a total, like, I don't know, cuddly, super mellow. And the girl's like super aggressive and like he's sweet too, but all right, guys.
Before we get started, I just wanted to share an idea with you because I know you probably already have something planned for today. But every time we get together, I'm like, I'm going to prepare something one of these days, just because it'll be an uncomfortable challenge for me. So I've been writing. It's not finished, but it's three different volume levels, and I didn't know, like, instead of just regular and accents, I wanted to explore playing stuff at three different levels, or because what Adam was talking about with, like, you can play different volume without changing your stick height, or you could say like a full accent, you bring your stick way up, you ghost notes, you're like playing low. So I was wondering if you guys ever do that with like three different volume levels during a rhythm rather than just regular and accent.
Yeah, I talk about it a lot, like your regular, I don't know, like maybe mezzo forte or something like that, like your regular, and then like doing like I have this exercise that we do that's like piano, like very quiet, and then regular, and then like forte, something. But yeah, what about you guys? Anybody else?
I've been trying to work on it lately.
Yeah, I like Future Sound's concept of the 2 sound level concept, where the hi-hat and the grace note are the same volume and the backbeat is a rim shot. And I like that idea of having 3, where you add a grace note inside of the grace notes, so that that gives you 3 dynamic levels whenever you practice that stuff or any grace note stuff. So just to like try to think of 2 dynamic levels on the grace notes and 1 for the backbeat. And it's only adding 1 more dynamic level, but it really adds more of a kind of nuance.
3, instead of 3 different rhythms. But I was like, how do you notate that? Like without MP forte, you have the.
Oh, yeah, good. Well, it could be the parentheses around the note is the grace note. The non-accented note would be the louder grace note, if you're thinking in terms of a beat versus rudiments. And then the rim shot would be the loudest note. And you could you more kind of undulating dynamics that way.
I didn't think about the parentheses. That's good. Because I was trying to do paradiddles with 3 different.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Fuck. Yeah. How would that be?
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you could make a key, right? You could just do a key if you're going to work certain exercises.
Right. That's what I was trying to do here with piano forte, mezzo forte, whatever. But anyways, we can get going. It was just something I've been thinking about.
Yeah, I think that technically, an accented note, a regular note, and then a parentheses note would be your 3 for an average chart if you don't want to make a key, like Rick said.
Right.
That's cool. Can you write something up and submit it, and then I can work on it and try to do it?
Yeah, I've written up so many, not a million things, but like a bunch of times I've written stuff up to submit, and then I'm like, this is trash.
Dude, don't think like that. Have you seen some of the stuff? Think about 8 and 8 equals 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I love it. I love it. I think it's great.
I have some pulled today for and it's again, it's from the ABB drums. And so they're pretty easy. But they get more difficult as we go down. And so we did the first couple last week on Monday, I believe. And then so the first one's really easy. But we're gonna try to get our goal tempos here. So this is pretty basic, just a single stroke roll, 16th notes, and then your 8th notes on your right, and then that switches us to our left, and then we'll pretend there's a repeat sign here, so we can just keep going. So 1 and a 2 and a 3, but we'll try to get up to 175. So which isn't, it's like that tempo is, it's stretching, it might be stretching me a little bit, it might not be stretching you guys, but we'll see. All right, so where should we start? Let's start 175. Let's start 145. 55, 65. Let's start 150. That's our 16 notes. Everybody cool with that tempo? All right, let's get it. I have this. Here, let's go like this. That messes me up. Here, let's just do this. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. And I didn't set a timer. Woo. Couple more. Last one. All right, not too bad. Let me set a timer this time. So we're not just blindly playing this for 10 minutes. Where's my timer? All right. Okay.
That 4 on the left is harder than you'd think.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when we get faster. Yeah, it's confusing for me a little bit. I love that. I love it though. The next one's it's got my head spinning a little bit. And it's so simple, but it's at a faster tempo, man, it gets your brain really working. All right, let's try it this fast. So let me get my my clock here. Timer. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, 8. Trying to not accent. 30 seconds. Couple more. Last couple. Very cool. All right. Hey. All right. And now that was 165. Let's go to 175. Are you ready? 1, 2, ready. Hey. Halfway there. Ah. Last couple. That's a really good whoops. It's a really good exercise to first of all to start out with. Oh boy, where's my metronome? It's a really good one to start out with. What happened? Too many things. I have too many things going on over here. Come on. There we go. So anyways, what I was saying is that's a really good one, first of all, to start off with. But like when we started, my 16th notes weren't even. And then I looked down and like my left hand was a little bit more forward on my stick than my right hand. So I had to like match my grip, you know. Basic stuff, but man, your talks last week, man, Adam, really changed my thinking. Stuff that we would try to fix before, but you know, the fluidity and all of that stuff and sitting up straight and man, it really helped me on my 3-hour gig on Friday, you know.
Oh, great. Thanks, man.
I want to get one of those back things. I had one and I didn't like the way it felt. I was like, ew, get this thing out of here. But now
Man, I know. That's the exact thing. It sucks at first.
Yeah.
You need the whole Adam Gust weight training kit, just the suit.
Yeah, dude. That is
power suit.
A Sweetwater bundle, man.
Oh, there's actually a company, Lesson Squad, that they do take 10% of your online lessons, but they also do a page where anything you recommend on Sweetwater or Amazon, you get 5% of the sale. So if your student buys something because you recommended it on your page, you get paid for it. There are some guys who are making some money doing that, but it's free to sign up. They take a little bit, but
man, to be like, if you were, especially when this train starts moving and shaking for you, like it seems like it already is, but when you're like in full practice, right? You're in like, you got all your certifications and you just have the line out the door of people that are trying to come to you to really, you're the new, what's his name? That like Vinny and Weckl and all those guys studied with,
not Gruber or something.
Yeah, you're the new. Yeah. Okay, so you know, being an Amazon affiliate with all of your stuff, man, that'd be so great. All these dudes with like the neck thing on and like the back thing on, the wrist things on, like you're just raking in cash from like Amazon affiliate sales, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but even if one of your students buys a drum set, like, one's buying a drum set, you say, hey, man, this one's great. I completely recommend this one 100%. If you buy it from my page, I'd really appreciate it. Somebody buys a DW kit, you make a little bit of coin.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, so this one messes with me a little bit. It's just a pattern that messes with me. So it's 8th note triplets. We're going like a triple stroke, right, 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 left, left, left. But then you're doing a double stroke. So it's right, right, left, left, right, right, left, 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 right, 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 left, left, right, right, left, left, right, 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 left, left, left. So staying in that same 8th note triplet pattern. So the way that I'm thinking about this is in like threes. So like right, left, right, like right, right, left, left, right. This is like it's I won't confuse you with the way that I'm thinking about it. Just trust the sticking, like Mike Dawson says. And yeah, same thing. We'll pretend there's a repeat here, right? So like if I take this off. Yep. All right, everybody good? Everybody good with that? Our goal tempo is 150, so we'll start at like maybe like 120, 125. It'll be pretty slow for us. We'll see for 8th note triplets. 150. So yeah, let's start 125. Here. So yeah. Does that sound right? Yeah. All right, man. I don't know if I can do this at 150. We'll see. Let's get the timer going. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, hey. Ah. Ah. Man, it's hard for me. Dude, right at the timer anyways. Man, that's a hard one.
This one is totally cool if you chaperone it. If you like play unisons for all the rights and then unisons for all the lefts, it's a really cool kind of African rhythm on this one.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's the right hand chaperone would be 1, 2, 3. Whoops, I'm unmuted. Ups 2, 3, 4.
All the way down. Yeah.
Yeah, so then it's such a cool way to come up with different rhythm. Then you chaperone the left 2, 3, 4. Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so because then you learn what to do in between the beats, because that's what I think happens when you play it hand to hand. You're not thinking about what the other hand's doing. But this
Yeah.
forces you like, okay, in between that triple, I have to fucking do something. So, but yeah, this
Great.
sounds cool.
It's such a great concept, man. It's really cool. That it's like that can help you so much. One of the things I really struggle with is soloing and like knowing what to play and feeling it, and that can be such a great conceptual idea to like build your solo on stuff like that. I've heard JP Beauvais talk about this before, like taking same idea, same thing, like taking one side, but he doesn't do it and do it with unisons. He's just doing it like take your right hand pattern or your left hand pattern and then make that the new melody, that you're forming your solos off of or your drum fills off of or whatever.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'll look it up. He's something on YouTube, I guess, or.
Yeah, he's just he's an amazing drummer, well-known drummer, and very very like learned, like he reads all the time and anyways, yeah, he's a amazing drummer, but he's a great teacher too. He has like a whole lesson thing online and all that stuff. So man, I got to work on that. That's cool though.
Yeah, maybe next time, maybe Wednesday. This would be a really cool one. And then some of us play the right hand and some of us play the left. And anyway, it gets all kind of Afro because it has that 6/8 feel to it.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to 150, but I'm going to try. Let's see. Here's 135. Woo! I need a timer. Where's my timer? Now I'm like only hearing those African rhythms. That's really great. All right, timer. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Ah. Almost there. Oh my gosh. That is really uncovering my left hand really badly. Oops. Oops. What did I do here? Okay, that's 150. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Sorry. Man, that's hard. That's like it's crazy for me. Man, yeah. It's not consistent for me, that's for sure. Oh man.
Man, I've been doing the Shaughnessy exercises, and the third one is right. It's 4 16th notes, right, left, left, left. So I've been shedding the shit out of my left hand, triples, and it feels good to like see results.
That's good, man. That's good. How are you at this tempo with this one? It's pretty good. Oops.
At this point, yeah.
What's going on here?
So-
sorry, what you cut out? What was that? Oh,
Oh,
there you
I was saying that this tempo is fine for me. It's
yeah, that's crazy.
it feels good to see results because I definitely had to start way below where I am.
Sam, are you noticing any different with how you key the sax with how you've been studying drums at all? Like just impact points?
Well, I would say that it's more a study of how my body moves without my input when I'm really enjoying myself. I'm finding that a lot of the same, kind of motions that propel particular articulations or expressions on saxophone, I find that I can tap into those same types of body expressions when I'm playing the drums. So it's kind of like finding two different ways to get water from the same source.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I totally hear that.
All right, this one's so let's do like one more. We have this one, or we have one that we've done before, the paradiddle diddle turnaround. I think we've done that one quite a bit. So how about this one is weird because the accents change on the beat to like the but the sticking doesn't change. Or no, the sticking does change. Yeah. So right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. 180. Holy moly, people. Jeez. Wait.
Oh, it's triplets.
Yeah. Yes, triplets. So I don't know why this is here. Oops.
I like this a lot, and I have a question for all of you guys.
There you go. Okay.
If you're doing this or any of the stuff that we were just doing, and you realize you're making mistakes or whatever, do you focus more on keeping the triplet rhythm or whatever the rhythm is, keeping the rhythm, and then or do you focus more on the sticking?
Oh, I definitely try to keep track of like what subdivision, like what notation I'm playing, because like if I'm playing like an actual, this is just me. Everybody can like tell it's a talk, but if I'm playing like if this is a song, the that we're playing, they're not going to really turn around and like the audience isn't going to go, hold on, your sticking was wrong, but they're going to know like if my notation is wrong, So it's more important for me to play the notation right, and then if it's just an exercise, then yeah, of course I want to play the sticking right, but yeah.
All right, that's exactly how I felt too, because I was like, oh, I keep goofing the sticking, but I'm just gonna keep the rhythm accurate, and I'll sort out the sticking as I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that what everybody does?
Yeah, like I would say that the definite, like the purpose of having the sticking is to build up that part of your toolkit. So it's as long as you can execute the sound that you're trying to get with the tools that you are using, then that's all right. But it's I feel like these exercises are for adding to that toolkit. So for me, I am kind of critical about the sticking because I know that if I don't learn the sticking, then I'll just go back to, other things that I've done before, and it doesn't, teach me anything new. It doesn't give me new vocabulary to work with. So if I mess up the sticking, like I will stop and say, okay, like where do I want to go with this? Because to me, the sticking is what makes it an exercise. Otherwise, we're just doing triplets. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, it's I always go through this with a lot of students, like where we're working on a specific rudiment, like we're learning paradiddle drum fills or something. We're using that rhythm or that rudiment for our drum fills, but it's all in like 16th notes. So then they'll do the same thing where it sounds like the same as what I'm playing, but they're not playing the sticking right. And so I have to be like, hey guys, like, hold on. Like I know it says 16 notes and that's all you're paying attention to, but we're working on something specific and we're using a specific rudiment for it'll come to play like later when we start, depending on our orchestration. If that makes sense. So like, yeah, then if it's like specified, then yes, I'm like, hey, let's look at the sticking, make sure you got the sticking right. Or we're working with fluidity, so you have to play your sticking correctly. You can't play, what you think. And I used to hate those exercises when I was, my teacher would harp on me. And I'm like, it's the same thing. It sounds the same. And he's like, no, pay attention to the sticking. This is the way that we're supposed to play it, so.
Yeah, it definitely comes in handy when you're talking about orchestrating, because like when you're playing everything on the snare, it doesn't really matter. But when you're taking rudiments and you're orchestrating them around the kit, and you need certain sounds to be in certain places, having a dedicated sticking can kind of solidify that and make sure that your melody is where you want it on the drum that you want it on.
Yeah.
And the last thing I was going to say is it kind of comes down to the gig. So if you're practicing, it's all about the sticking. But if you're on a gig or a studio session, any means that you can to get it done, you get it
right.
done.
That's something that's really like, there's where I'm like hardly ever paying attention to, like, on a gig, I'm like, it's all about what feels right for the song, but I'm not really like, hold on. That was not a double paradiddle. Stop the show. Like, let me count this song over again.
Right.
But what I do notice is when we're doing these kind of exercises, like some stuff, you'll be like, oh man, I didn't even plan on doing, that kind of thing, like a single stroke with my right hand as triplets or something, like we're working on.
Right. Yeah, it's less. I mean, I think drummers can notice it. Certain sticking, like if you're double sticking, it sounds different than if you're alternate sticking. But it's not so much like if a guitarist plays a slide or a hammer on or something that has a distinctly different sound for the same, two notes, whatever. But I have another idea, but I don't want to take away too. It's more of a question.
All right.
But I don't know if you guys want to get sidetracked or just stick to what we're doing here.
Derail.
Questions. Yeah, I always love the questions.
So
let me stop sharing this for a second. There we go.
I was thinking about tempo and beats per minute and like the other day. So a beats per minute, a minute is a defined amount of time, 60 seconds. Like we don't debate that. But if you divide a minute into, 120, right? That's 2 beats per second if you're playing at that tempo. 60 would be 1 beat per second, 180 would be 3. So if you're playing a tempo that isn't evenly divisible by 60 or whatever, then when does it reconcile? Like if you're playing 140, it's always.
I think it's a matter of sheer math. It's like 140 over 60 time, and then you just multiply it until you get to a solid number, and that's how many beats you have to wait before you. But I mean, that's usually how I get tempos. Is I'll say, okay, well, I know that 120 is 2 beats a second. I know that 180 is 3 beats a second. So you can kind of just turn the dial or turn the dial in your head. Say, okay, well, then 160 will be, slightly less than 2 beats a second or than 3 beats a second. And it's just kind of finding the kind of precision in between those two
right.
Those 2 bits. It is all math.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking relating to what Adam had been talking about with like getting timing right, because I'm sure there's like typical timings or tempos. I mean, in different genres of music that are certain genres gravitate towards certain tempos, and human tempos like heartbeats, resting heart rates and all that stuff. Like everybody's got different internal tempos. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys hear about like shamanic drumming, like which tempos affect different parts of your conscious states? And I've been hearing about it in entrainment. Like a theta is a certain tempo range, and it comes from the shamanic tradition. And I just know a little bit about it. Have you read about it in any magazines or articles or anything?
I've been reading about frequencies, not so much tempos, but it makes sense that tempos would go with it too. But like tones, like 550 or 4, whatever, like have like spiritual effects on.
Yeah, there's that's like bowls, like bowl therapy or whatever. I don't know what it specifically. I have a friend that does it though, and he has like he's like, I spent $30,000 on this gong cymbal, and like I can get you so high with these bowls. I'm like, bro, like I don't play drums for that, man. Like and he like wants to talk cymbals with me. Like, what's the frequency of your cymbals? I'm like, I have no idea. Like I just
What's crazy about pitch when you think about it is that all pitch is essentially tempo anyway, because it's just the number of cycles per, the hertz of your sound is the number of cycles per instance. And so it's all tempo. It's all the distance from one thing to the next thing.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, a 1-4-5 polyrhythm is a minor triad. If you speed it up, I mean, it's all just totally connected. And even the major scale, the whole and half steps is the same whole and half steps as the Afro-Cuban bell pattern. Like
that's so wild.
It's like whole half, whole half. It's like it's all totally connected. Yeah, it's trippy.
Yeah, it's all the same for sure. That's wild.
I think definitely for like therapy stuff, there's music for humans. Of course, music is something that's very therapeutic, but there's certain notes that bring different feelings and all of that stuff. So dude, when you start diving into that, it gets deep. I don't know anything. I don't know like technical stuff, but I've worked through some stuff with like a kinesiologist, and like I was working with like a master herbalist and like this lady that was did a lot of muscle testing and stuff for me, especially with my ankle injury and all of that stuff. And there was like a couple things where she was like, yeah, you need to hear the vibrations or the tone of like a D minor or something. Like it was like something like that. Like, and so she'd like go like, you'd either go to the piano or go to like your guitar or whatever, or find a YouTube video that has that, and then that'll like realign your body, your energy.
Yeah, it's the theory that perfect pitch is felt in the body. Like people are born with it or they're not. It's actually something that they feel differently at different notes, and that's how they know what the note is. Yeah.
So, and then it's all vibrations, right? And so your energy is like vibrating with different frequencies, and different frequencies mean different things, and like and you can align yourself with those things with like affirmations or obviously notation, or that's why that bowl therapy is such a deep, like spiritual and crazy deep on how much you can get into that stuff for healing, like literally for healing, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll share this John Strong interview, and he talks about he studied with a shamanic drummer, and he learned on the congas which tempos would be more contemplative, which were more aggressive, and which were like more inspirational, like improvisational energy. And then do you guys have a tempo you kind of go to? Like if you're going to noodle on the pad, like do you have the same tempo typically or what?
I always man, it's really hard for me because I always think I need to get away from this tempo, but my most comfortable tempo is like either 100 or 120, like anywhere in between there. But I notice that anytime I'm like, I just start playing, it's like normally at about 120. And I'm like, why do I always, I heard that's like the most common tempo for people. And I'm like, I got to start trying to do it at like, random tempos. Like I'm always even too, like always like 120,
Yeah.
50, and I'm never like 153, like so yeah.
Yeah, because
for me, it's closer to 90. It's the groove that I like sit at, that moves my body in a certain way that I naturally gravitate toward.
Yeah. Yeah, try to get what's comfortable, and then like every 16 bars, drop it a beat and see how much you can maintain the same body feeling at your comfortable tempo and shift it just a little slower. It gets trippy because it changes your emotional state, like what tempo your body's comfortable at moving. Like if you want to be in a particular mood, you know that you kind of have a feeling at a certain tempo. I'm skeptical still.
I've noticed that too with soloing. Like, man, if you going along with what you were saying, like if you're thinking about something, you know, and you're making noise, you're playing your drums. Like if like I've had a session with like a couple like dudes that are like deep like that, where we're just like, all right, man, let's look at this painting and then let's go. Let's hit record. It's like, okay. But man, it's amazing how different, you know, I was thinking about something one time and I just came in the studio and started playing. I can't remember what it was. I was thinking about something though, like something that was happening in the news or something. And it just completely like the dynamic range of my playing was so different than normal. Like the accents were like more fierce and like, it was like your brain is just thinking and then the stuff is like your creative, you know, psyche is just like flowing out of you, you know, it's really cool. Yeah.
That's the best.
I love when you bring up new subjects, man. You're so good at that.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, this always gets me thinking about stuff, and then, you know, I'm like, I don't want to. It's fun. I like it, but I don't.
Yeah,
want to
let's talk later about what your music therapy education was like, because I'd like to know more.
It was primitive, but it was interesting because I didn't know what I studied psychology, and I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go in, and so everybody had to like present. This was undergrad, like on careers in psychology. So I was like, everything was kind of like typical. So I did music therapy, and you know, I was into music. So yeah, I didn't go that route. I'm not a music therapist, but it was cool to learn about how therapeutic. It seems obvious now that music is therapeutic, but back then, you know, it was in college. I was like,
when you file your like business license and all that stuff through Google, I'm sure you guys know, but like when I was doing it for mine, there wasn't really like studio music. It was like, but there was music therapy. And so I picked it a couple times and then it was like, what's your practice? And I'm like, oh, I'm not a music therapist. What is it? I just thought like music is therapy. Yeah, cool. So yeah.
well,
hey,
it is.
Rick, where are you at, man?
I'm 5 minutes from Adam.
Oh, okay. You're in LA.
neighbors.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, we're in Highland Park.
Awesome, man. Are you a teacher as well, or like a professional drummer and all that?
Yeah, both. So I was touring with Engelbert Humperdinck for years.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's my main gig, and then teaching online.
Very nice.
So I'm glad to have that teaching side of things, man. Because when this shutdown happened, it was a lifesaver.
Same here, man. Same here. I think that's been like, it was a panic mode for a few seconds, and then it was like, okay, man, it's buckle down. Let's get to, you know, let's shift. And so it's really cool.
Yeah, and learning all the like me and Adam were talking, like learning all like how to set up the studio with camera angles like you got going and all that.
Yeah,
it's enlightening to like, I had a really nice, you know, group of students. I teach mostly kids, but you know, I lost them when I started touring. And so now I'm hoping I can rebuild a lot of clientele just because parents are more hip to doing this online thing now.
Yeah, definitely. I always, I always embrace the touring thing. I always make it like, you know, I'm going to have to cancel your lesson because I'm going to be gone for a few weeks on tour. And like when my teacher would do that, I was like, whoa, you're going on tour. That's cool, man. My teacher's like really living it, you know, like,
yeah,
it's hard to do. It's hard. Like some parents just don't get it, but I've had a lot of parents just go, you know, like, okay, cool. Yeah. We'll just pick up when you get back, you know, and like always be like, oh, I can find you a sub, but you know, like, or I can like try to do something like from the backstage or something, you know, but, yeah, now it'd be a little bit different because everybody's used to online, but
right.
Yeah, I always embrace that. That I try to. It's like I haven't since I started doing like since the pandemic, of course, like and since I went like really hard on teaching. It's like man, I haven't really had to be like, okay, like there's a date, like there's at the end of this month, I have to be like, I'm canceling everybody's lessons this week, you know, like, but yeah, I try to embrace it. But anyways, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it. And like, man, I'm telling you, all these dudes in this room, man, it's like it's intimidating for me, but it's really great. It's really fun, and I love it. So that having teachers and pro drummers and just like great musicians in here, and then me going, all right, so I can't play this at 150, but you know,
I even like the slower tempos in the morning. I mean, it's chops and coffee. It's kind of like, oh, let's stretch, you know, like morning stretch.
Man, I think it's really, that's one of the coolest aspects for me, is just to hang out with guys that are really, you know, doing it really out there, like, you know, like the real dogs, as I've had a few friends call it, that are not just like dudes that are just like, you know, I think those guys are welcome too, but like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like guys that are really, you know, working in the industry, or like just even trying to better themselves, or be, you know, it's just a cool, positive thing for me. And, you know, like you've probably heard me mention that like this is all based on acceptance and belonging. And that's what I based Drum Brigade on, and camaraderie over competition. So, that being said, I think that's a beautiful thing that we keep going, and we have, I mean, guys with credentials that are just like, we can, you know, we could lead the industry with our abilities and our credentials. And like, I think that's really something special, that everybody's comes here, participates, you know, contributes, does their thing with, you know, and no one has ever gone, like, said to me, yeah, you know, your chops and coffee this morning was a little weak, man. You might want to work on your left hand or something. Like, I've never had one negative thing once. And that's such a great thing for me, you know? It's really cool.
Not even on the stream?
Not even on, well, I haven't had anybody really comment on the stream. People on the stream love it though, you know, like,
Yeah,
and if stream, like, dude, beat it. Like, you know, that's like, if you're going to do that on the stream, if you're going to critique what we're doing, then start your own chops and coffee. You know,
I think the 7 a.m. aspect of it is a little more of a community. Like anybody who wants to get up at 7 a.m. and warm their hands
to play the drums, right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a high five.
Well, I got it easy over here on the East Coast because it's 10, but
yeah,
I just feel fortunate to hang out with a bunch of.
Even that takes a special, you know, 10 is still in the morning, and you know, it's like I did one chops and coffee. I did it chops and decaf at 6 p.m. once. And it was different, that it was just like, this isn't why I started this. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's not that it wasn't fun, but it was like, what are we doing here? Like I was trying to play the role of like, we're ending our day with something that we love, but it was just a different group of guys. Like everybody, you know,
I think I was in that one. But I like the morning, even though like, it's cool that you guys start early. Like if it was 7, I'd have a lot harder time, but I tried it. But you know, it's like sometimes I get things going on in the morning and then I'm like, I'm going to drop it because I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's like comparable to either like a morning, like exercise class or like group run versus like an evening jam session where like everyone's like, all right, I've had my day to kind of relax, I'm warmed up, let me sit down at the drums and show everyone a little bit of stuff. Yes. And it's when you're first waking up and everyone's just like, okay, like let's wake ourselves up, let's, you know, it's more about your relationship with the instrument as opposed to your relationship to everybody else, which is, you know,
yeah, that's exactly the vibe I get like with this. And yeah, it's cool. I think it's really great, but it's like, yeah, the group of guys that show up in the morning is it's like, yeah, it's like what you said. It's just like, yeah. But you know, the other thing that I was going to say is, for some reason, so I'm in San Diego, and the having dudes from LA joining is always like, I'm always intimidated by LA cats, you know? I'm like, oh my God, LA, like, what are you guys going to say about this? But it's, yeah, I'm like wearing my heart on my sleeve and telling you guys my secrets, but
yeah, well, there's this thought I had that I'll wear my heart on my sleeve. I sometimes think of, imagine having sex and, you know, you're like really into it. It's really going well. And then you have this thought, man, this friend of mine, I wonder if he's having better sex than I am right now. You know, it's like if you're just in the sex, you don't really give a shit. You know, just be in it. And
That's a good analogy. Oh man. Now guess what? Every time we're all gonna be thinking that. I wonder if the chops and
Thanks,
coffee.
Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Oh man. All right, guys. So really great today, and stoked to be here. Thanks for helping me to feel accepted and feel like I belong behind my drums, as I always say. And I hope you guys felt the same way. So let's regroup. We'll go a little bit more down this list of exercises on Wednesday, and then Friday.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Friday is somebody else leading, right? Is it you? Is it Rick? Or is it a different person? Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, someone's leading. I just saw that.
You're muted, Adam.
Friday was Rich. That's
Rich, okay.
Rich Stitzel. Rick, do you know this Rich Stitzel drum mantra? No.
You know the name.
Yeah, his thing is cool. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll send an email and just yeah, he knows the drill. But yeah, all right, cool, man. Thank you guys, and I'll see you Wednesday. Have a great week.
All right, you guys. Peace.